Hello, and welcome to Spiritual Artistry. On this show, we talk about spirituality, art, and spirituality through art. My name is Francesca Bandino. This is episode number 4. Today's episode is about telling the universe what you are ready for. Specifically, I'm going to talk about telling the universe what kind of love you are ready for. But remember, just like in the other episodes, when we're talking about love, we're talking about anything we may love, anything that is our deepest desire, right? This could be your romantic love, but it could also be your friendships, your home, your employment, your job or your self employment, whatever that looks like for you. There are so many things in life we are bringing in. Now, this episode is inspired by this painting I created right here called A New Love Forming. So, just for ease, I talk about romantic love, but I want you to remember that it can relate to whatever you desire. The inspiration for this was really after not only this painting, which I created under the same circumstances, but also just like talking to a lot of people who are ready for change, but they don't know how to get there because they seem to be stuck in this loop. I like to call it being on the hamster wheel, right? You feel like you're repeating the same things over and over again, even though you know that's not what you want anymore. That's not working for you anymore. So, how do you get off that hamster wheel? How do you call in and bring in that thing that you desire, that you love, that you are ready for? This isn't necessarily going to be an episode on how to manifest. I do teach a course on that called Manifestation Mastery. Look that up on my website. We are doing some powerful work there to make our lives easier. But this is really about getting our mindset ready, opening up our energy. Yes, you may manifest what you want, but this is about kind of hitting the reset button and starting over, okay? Or starting anew. I can't say over because you're starting with the new information that you have gained, the information you have learned about yourself and about others in the meantime, right? I I listen to someone who loves to say you're either winning or you're learning. I'm going to say it a different way though, which is you're either winning or you're gaining, right? You either have the win, you get that thing that you want, or you're gaining, meaning you are gaining new information that you can put in your reservoir to help you moving forward. So when we tell the universe what it is that we want now, we are first of all starting with the new information that we have now. And remember that this is new information for us, but the universe already knows it, right? I don't know why I keep hearing, remember, it is already meant for them. They're just now more in alignment, right? So you are now on your path. And we're going to talk about celebrating for later, but the universe is celebrating because you are one step closer. What have you now understood about yourself? What have you, and I'm going to add to this, what have you accepted about yourself, started to love about yourself, and you simply know that's what you're going to bring in to the next relationship, whatever that may be for you. Remember, we talked about at the beginning of the episode. The more you understand about yourself, the more you have looked within instead of doing what maybe is expected of us, right? And I mean this on a societal level, not necessarily just, your family or friends, but as a whole. What have you looked inside and understood? Maybe you have understood that you just love to be loved on, right? And so then that means that now you know that you are going to look for someone who is highly affectionate. Maybe in a work environment, you have understood that you work best with a team that has brainstorming meetings every morning. Okay, so now you know to look for that in a work environment. Maybe you have understood about yourself that you just need that quiet space in your home to take a few breaths every morning, do your meditation, do your prayer, whatever it is that you do in the morning. And now you can look for a space, for a home that has a little nook for you to use, right? The truth is that when we have recognized certain parts of ourselves that make us unique and beautiful and wonderful, and you have owned that, and you shine brightly in that knowledge, the universe gives you the gift of allowing you to continue to shine brightly in that. Because if you are someone who loves to receive affection and is affectionate, and you not only appreciate that about yourself, but you don't waver from it either, that is no longer something that you will compromise on. The universe then says, oh, you're serious, and brings it to you. Sometimes they'll just test you one more time, bring someone in who doesn't do that, and then they bring it in for you. What has changed about you from the last time? What inside of you has shifted to open you up more to your truest self and to your truest desires? So when you have come to the heart of it all, that to me is your core, looking inside, and I'm just like feeling it here in the heart space, which is actually going to be the next episode, the heart center. That's what we'll be talking about next. But I just keep feeling it right here, right? We are getting back to our core, which is in our heart when we're talking about our desires, okay? When you have finally become true to that heart space, that heart center, now you can celebrate. Whether you physically see it or not, it is already yours. Okay, you desire it, you have opened the way for it energetically. So now it is yours. Start celebrating. Why did this celebration come up? When I was meditating on this painting after I created it, that's something I do with paintings. After I finish painting them, I meditate on them and kind of remember everything that's going on. But also, I paint these intuitively. So sometimes I find things in my paintings that I didn't notice as I was painting them. And something I see here is a balloon, which to me is celebration, which, of course, when you finally get into the aligned mindset, when you are finally in alignment, your body can't take it anymore. Your whole being celebrates. Your being, the spirit team, the angels, God, source, universe, everyone is excited for you. Your higher self is excited for you because now you are walking firmly in the path to your highest and best good. So even if you have perceived your past experiences as quote unquote failures, it is time right now for you to celebrate. Celebrate that you have new information to give to the universe. I just want you to notice that, like in the previous part where I was talking about what you like, notice how none of that was negative. None of that was what you don't like, because what you don't like doesn't matter to the universe. What matters to the universe is what you do like, what you do want, what you do dream of. Your fears, your worries, your feelings of lack, there is no room for that anymore once you are in alignment. And I say that to myself as much as I say that to you, because we are all one. So we all have these feelings from time to time. Remind that thing that there is no space for that in your life anymore. The celebration is also that you are one step closer now to getting to that place that you want to be in. Remember, the universe doesn't have timelines, right? The universe has information and energy to go on. That's it. Whether you get there in 1 month, in 1 day, in 7 years, makes no difference to the universe. What we're looking at is the action that we take to get there. I'm very much using my hands today. What they say about Italians is true. Okay. Here's the other celebration. If you are taking steps closer to your desires, not necessarily the desired outcome, but those things that make your heart sing, right? Those things that fill you with joy, that make you feel like you're in alignment. It means that you haven't given up. Do you know how many people give up regularly when they are so close to actually getting that thing that they want? Because they don't have trust, they don't have faith, not only in the universe, but in themselves. They don't trust that what they want could ever happen to them, or is maybe, or that they're not good enough for that thing, really. Remember, I said not the outcome. You're going after that feeling. You're giving the universe just enough information to say, this is what I want my life to look like. But let me explain the difference to you. Let's go back to love and the person who wants affection, right? If my priorities, right, what I know will make me feel happy is finding someone who is extremely affectionate. Maybe I am someone who wants someone who is very stable, because that will help me feel stable as well, right? Now we're in the root chakra. It will help me feel secure. Maybe I want someone who really expresses their feelings verbally. Okay, not everyone wants that, by the way. I'm just giving the most common examples. You know, then I will bring in someone who has those qualities. Notice that what I am not doing is saying, I want someone who is, and this again is a common example, 6'2", dark hair, light eyes. Where is the feeling there? Where is the feeling there? Okay, now take that with, that doesn't mean that you don't have to be physically attracted to your partner, by the way. I'm just, but stay with me. Now, oh, and in addition, and I want the person to be so and so. Woo, woo, stay with me. I'll explain what's going on after this example. Now let's compare that to maybe a job that you want. Okay. Are you going to say to the universe, I want a job that I am excited to go to every morning. Let's say that has, going back to the previous example, or the example at the beginning of the episode, that has group brainstorming sessions every morning, and who has really kind and helpful coworkers. Notice that I did not say, I want a job at this place. When you tell the universe what you want to feel, what you are calling in, you are allowing the universe to match you with that perfect experience. But if I tell the universe the person that I want or the job that I want, then am I willing to accept all these unintentional consequences that come with wanting that exact person or that exact thing, right? Not to mention that people have free will. So are those persons' desires going to align with your desires? You know, I go back to a time when I manifested a house in Solana Beach. I did not request a house, okay? I had requested a place in Solana Beach where I would pay a certain amount of money, and that was it, right? That was all I asked. And they brought me better than what I had asked for. They had brought me better than I could even imagine. Sometimes what we think we want is limited by our own beliefs and our own knowledge. But if we come in with the feeling of what we're looking for, right? So, like in Solana Beach, I was looking for a place that had a studio space for me to paint in. That's why they brought in, oh, and an office space. So there was more. I got a 3-bedroom for like less than an apartment rent, right? Like, and blocks away from the beach and in the center of town. Like, there was just like so much there, right? If I had allowed myself to ask for something specific, I would have had a limited experience. But by asking for the feeling and for the experience, I got better. So when we're calling in what we love, what we desire, who we love, we are asking for what we deserve. And remember that the universe knows that you are worthy simply because you are. So you deserve to have the best, right? What is the best for you is not what is the best for someone else. Maybe a 5-bedroom or 7-bedroom mansion. I actually don't know how many bedrooms are in a mansion right now, but anyway, use that as an example. Maybe a mansion is the best for someone. And for someone else, a cottage is the best. Because maybe the person in the cottage would feel lonely and isolated in the mansion. And maybe the person in the mansion would feel like they were being constrained in the cottage, right? Your desires are unique to you. And what isn't in alignment for you is unique to you and no one else. Or maybe it is in alignment with the person that you're trying to create this with, right? Maybe it's a partnership. You're working to bring it in together. Well, now going back to what we said before, you know this about yourself, right? So you have those building blocks. You are starting to put together the blocks of what you have learned up till now about yourself, about your self-worth, okay? And you are starting to create a bond with that person or with that thing that you are calling in without even needing to have them or that thing physically present, right? Back to what we were saying before, that what you desire is already yours. As long as you truly believe that you are worthy of that thing that you desire. And once you believe that you are truly worthy of that desire, you show up with confidence as though it is already there, right? You show up into that job interview knowing that you are perfect for that place because it was brought to you in alignment with your desires, right? It was already made for you. Because when you show up with confidence, you are telling God, source, universe, that you know you are ready. Sometimes saying to the universe, I am ready, does not have the same impact as showing up as though you are ready. When I created a new love forming, I did not create it because I was at the beginning of a relationship with someone I believe to be my future partner. What I did was, how can I explain this in a way that makes sense on a tangible level? It is like I was finally exposed to something that gave me new information, and it allowed my heart space to open up to that thing that I knew was going to bring me joy. Because there was a level of self-worth that I had leveled up to. And so when I created a new love forming, what I was saying is that my energy, as I leveled up, my energy, I have another little painting called My Heart Continues to Rise, and it's a similar idea, which is as I gained that new information, my heart space opened up more and more to say, oh yes, this is what is my deepest desire. And I allow myself to embody that desire. And so in doing that, I was beginning to form the bond with the person that I was calling in. Because as I did that, and I believe this about all things, as we open ourselves up to that opportunity, the other, right, be that person, be that job, is also looking for us, right? And so finally, we can start to match and come closer and closer and closer to each other. A new love forming would be about the start of something, but the start of something is within you first. I believe that you can get there in all aspects of your life if you are patient with yourself. Hi friends, not your usual ending to my videos. That's because things have kind of changed. So it's actually been a long time since I published one of my videos, even though I've had these videos for a long time. But something wasn't lining up and I couldn't finish editing the ending of the video until yesterday when I made an important decision. And today it finally came to me why I hadn't been able to edit it. So at the end of the video, I always kind of talk about my offerings, but I was stumbling my way through it. It wasn't making any sense. So for the last few years, I've been putting myself out there as a psychic medium and a fine artist. But my way of creating has changed and my gifts have expanded and gone wild. And I finally got the download for what's going on. My newest title is Leader of Lightworkers and Creator of Magical Paintings. And with that, I am offering 3 courses right now. and I'm offering all 3 at once with limited spaces. So these are for various parts of your spiritual journey. If you feel called to be one of the people who is in that, I'm going to call them courses, I'm guiding you to what is right for you, what you need to do next. In the first course, I teach you Spirit Connections. I teach you how to set up your space and open yourself up to the communication with your higher self, your loved ones who have passed, your spirit team. The next level, course number 2, Manifestation Mastery. Yes, it's about manifesting, but it's really about perfecting your conversation with the universe so you can watch miracles happen without even trying. And then the third course, the newest course, is called The Healer's Journey. And that course is for people who are ready to be light workers. And I guide you to the path that is for you, because everyone's path is unique. Just like I could not hold myself anymore to just strictly calling myself a psychic medium, there are so many light workers out there ready to start their path, their journey, and cannot be closed into the traditional boxes that have existed up until this point. You can check it all out on my website, www.francescabandino.com. The next phase, which this podcast series has really been all about these new paintings and the new direction I'm going in, it's continuing to progress. I'll be changing the way I upload those as well. Please leave a comment, share this with anyone you think may need to watch it or hear what I've said in this video or at the end of this video. And I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings. Have a fabulous day.